I'm able to provide advice that Queensland Health has provisionally approved a new COVID-safe venue management plan for tomorrow's game between the Melbourne Storm and the Bulldogs here at Sunshine Coast Stadium. The previous 6,000 capacity approved site-specific plan has now been reduced to 4,134 people, approximately one-third of the stadium's usual certified venue capacity of 12,000 people. COVID-safe practices will continue to be enforced, and the key focus of the new venue outlay is a temporary seating being introduced to the eastern and southern hills of the stadium. These zones will now have designated seating that consists of individual chairs with adequate social distancing and personal space between each group of ticket holders. There'll be a minimum of 1.5 metres between rows and groups that will be allocated together. However, again, there'll be a minimum of 1.5 metres between these groups. The Northern Hill will not have designated seating, however will have a patronage numbers that represents one person per 4 square metres. Despite the significant reduction in crowd numbers, staff and security numbers will remain the same as last week, and we have engaged additional QPS staff to attend on Saturday, also to assist with the enforcement of social distancing protocols. We'd like to thank and sincerely appreciate the advice and support provided by Queensland Health, QPS, the NRL and Melbourne Storm for working quickly and in partnership to help us deliver a safe outcome for footy this weekend. We also thank football fans for their patience and understanding, especially those who cannot attend. We have issued over 1,000 refunds to the game and apologise to those people who have been inconvenienced by this. Finally, it's very important we implore that anyone who is showing even the smallest symptoms of COVID-19 do not attend tomorrow's game. Between now and kick-off, if you do have any symptoms you're planning on attend, please contact Ticket Tech. There'll be a no questions asked, full refund provided for those people who may be experiencing those symptoms. Thank you. Happy to take any questions.
The seating arrangement out here, was it a difficult process? Was it something that just needed to be done?
It became clear last week that that in terms of achieving that social distancing on that eastern hill with those numbers was very difficult. So first thing was to reduce the numbers. So we've taken 1,000 people effectively off that hill. And then by introducing the seating, that allows us to meet all of the COVID-safe guidelines that Queensland Health have put before us. So the seating solution we found, absolutely, a lot of work has gone into it and a lot of conversations with Queensland Health, but they are very comfortable that it meets their guidelines.
And all the refunds, was that everyone voluntarily, or was there some that needed to be forced?
Yeah, so we had 3 phases of I suppose, of trying to limit the ticket numbers. Last week, when we became aware that there were some active cases in Queensland, we actually closed the selling window at that time. We then went on Tuesday through a voluntary refund system where we got a couple of hundred people say they're happy to forgo the opportunity to attend the game. And then in the last 24, 48 hours, we've actually had to compulsory refund the balance. So unfortunately, some people did get the email over the last day or two to say, unfortunately, you cannot now attend Saturday's game.
With those chairs, are they sort of fixed to the ground? Is there any sort of things that are going to stop people rearranging the deck chairs to their own liking?
Yeah, so in terms of, because they are in groups, they're cable tied together. So very similar to those people who may have attended the Elton John concert, you cannot move those seats unless you conspire with a group of people to pick them up and move them. But again, we're going to have a very strong QPS, very strong security, very strong staff presence to ensure we know where everyone is sitting at each particular minute of the game.
And with those ticketing, is it down to the specific seats you're ticketing this time, or in terms of numbered seats? Or?
Yeah, so all the seats will be numbered. It's very important in the unfortunate event that we have to do some contact tracing. We know what individual seat people were sitting in, what zone they were sitting in. So yes, for those people, they'll be allocated a ticket and they'll be allocated a specific seat for tomorrow's game.
Grantley, will you still push for more NRL games to be played here this year?
Looking at the fixture, the Melbourne Storm do have 3 remaining home fixtures allocated to them. There have been some preliminary discussions in respect to where those 3 games may be played. We would love to host them. Our focus and energy this week has obviously been put into responding accordingly to last week's game and last week's event. So that's been our focus this week. We'll debrief again on Monday to just assess the satisfaction of all parties with how tomorrow's venue layout has operated, and with a view of re-engaging with Melbourne Storm to have those discussions.
So I guess it's probably important that tomorrow goes right if you do want those other 3 games.
Yeah, I think it's really important too. We've done what we think, in conjunction with Queensland Health, to have a really good event overlay, which we think is COVID safe. Still relies a lot on the cooperation of the patrons. So people here need to be doing the right thing. Like I said, we'll have a beefed up security, staff and QPS presence, but it is really important for those people who may want to see more games this season at Sunshine Coast Stadium that everyone does the right thing.